Hello and welcome back to our podcast. Today we're here with our usual host, Cham, as usual.
Hi.
There's me and what day? Hello.
Hi.
Okay. And we have three total guests. Wait, has Pan ever been on?
No, Pan's never been on. He's first time.
What about you?
Oh,
No,
it's
never
their
been
first
on.
time.
This is my first time.
Oh,
too.
they're all first times. Whoa.
Our first time
My
guest.
first timers.
I must have been dreaming.
Whoa.
I mean, I
must
was
have
a
been
lot
dreaming.
last time, so.
No,
I've
I
been
was-
playing.
I
I've
was
been playing
just-
through this podcast in my head the whole time.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's just I fall asleep within calls very frequent. So like if I'm in
You know
the
what? When
call
that
and I'm not
happens, we'll
speaking,
deal with it.
You know that I'm asleep.
Guys, remember,
Just cut out the
this,
power she's talking about.
remember, this is late night talk with friends. So you can
fall
fall
asleep.
asleep.
Talk with friends.
Yep, that's pretty much to be expected. I remember the first
Yeah.
time that they fell asleep, which was like the first ever podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, our
It
first
might happen
episode-
again.
Our first episode was like just slept halfway.
Well,
Your story
It's
diverged.
not even halfway, it's like 1/4 way.
No, it wasn't a fourth. It was like we were 40 minutes in, and then you just like slept.
yeah, you were just gone.
You were just like,
I was that tired.
Ah. Alright, first topic, I actually really want to talk about this. It's the whole Apple teaming up with Google situation, like helping people know whether they've been in contact with people with the coronavirus.
That's a
Like-
thing. I'm sorry.
Like
I
they're
don't
using like
really-
Wi-Fi waves or something, but I feel like they're just they're taking your personal information from your phone, like they're analyzing it, seeing if you have coronavirus, and then telling other people around you. I feel like that's a big breach of privacy. I don't think that should be allowed.
Wait, did they actually do that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you look up coronavirus. Okay, let's see
How
Apple.
did they do it?
Like last time I read it, it was about like Wi-Fi signals or something. I just know that it was like
But how does Wi-Fi
like a
signal, like tell you if someone is sick or not?
no, it's like it's basically they're reading into your your like maybe public health records or something.
yeah.
Like if you think about it, they could see your phone, look up some like information about your name, and then maybe if you have it on like a public record or something, like everyone around that will probably get a notification that hey, you should probably stay away or something.
Or maybe
Wait. What if it's like you don't put your real name into like the social media?
Well, I don't know, but like these big companies, I feel like it'd be pretty easy for them to find out. It's not like you can hide your personal information like completely, right?
yeah, they have
mean, I
plenty
get-
of ways to dox you.
Yeah, exactly. So I get that it's a global health crisis, but this seems like,
It's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
mm, I
Violating
feel like
the
just
rights of
quarantine
privacy.
people. I feel like that's the best idea. Have people get checks over time. Like eventually you'll be able to check like the majority of people, right?
It's not just speaking. This is some random person, and I say it's China.
Uh,
Do you guys hear that? Do you hear that?
yes, we heard
Yes,
that.
yes, we heard that.
Yo, what the? That was creepy.
That was not. Oh, that wasn't you. Oh,
That wasn't
Who was
you.
that?
Wow.
oh, that's
No, it was-
spooky.
I don't know. They said it wasn't Cham. Maybe it's
Well,
maybe
I have this belief where if someone says they're not it's normally that person, unless they have evidence to back it
That
up.
is That's some messed up way of thinking.
yeah, sure. You go to like a high-end school just for you to think like that, sure.
I mean, imagine your cat broke something, and then like maybe your son in the future tells you, "Hey, no, I didn't," but you don't believe him. If he says he did it, then he's probably
okay,
lying.
I get it.
Yes, you have no evidence, you know?
Huh?
Yes, referring to source A, do an OPVL on this
No, we're not doing this right now. I'm sorry. Please, let's move on.
It's alright. Yeah, I mean, like to be fair, there's like, are they actually like taking your data? Like, do they like explicitly tell you what they're gonna do with all your data, or are they just gonna be like, hey, install this app or we arrest you?
I mean, let's actually no. It's like it's gonna be a mandatory thing in like iOS 13.4, I think, and like Android devices. I feel like you need to have a. Well, I have it jailbroken, so I don't update.
I just don't update.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, like, to be fair, they've never told us what they do with our information at all. We never know what they could be doing in the first place. So like, I mean, I guess right now, they're probably just doing like the same thing they've always been doing. It's not like a breach of privacy if they've always been doing it, right?
I mean, to be fair, we
It's
allowed them.
always been a breach of privacy.
No,
Yeah, exactly. There's like,
to be fair,
there's a whole TOS. There's a whole TOS you have to read, and then we agree
Exactly.
to it.
So
Except
in a way,
nobody else, like nobody actually reads it.
So in a way, we're not breaching privacy. It's just like, it's just they tell us that they're gonna do it. It's just we don't like we don't listen or read. We don't read. That's the
America.
problem.
Sorry.
I mean, to be fair, it's like, I mean,
It's
what
really-
choice do you have?
It's really inconvenient
same
for you to
time.
read though. Like it's like they make it like walls of text just so they can make it as inconvenient as possible, just to try to like exploit you as the consumer. And
Also, they can like
Yeah, that's
elongate,
true.
like, they can like elongate like the text like to make it like longer than it has to be, rather than like getting to the point.
Exaggeration.
I mean,
right
the thing
there.
is, it's a lot of legal information that, like, I get that like the age you're able to use, was it Gmail? I think, isn't it like 13 and above?
No, at the time,
like-
like back then, I think it was older than that, like 18 or something.
No. It was
I
always
don't-
13. It was always 13.
Pretty sure it was
Really?
always 13.
It's always been 13.
Like Facebook had that rule too.
Yeah, Facebook.
I thought it was like 16 or 18.
No, 18 is for like. No, I think most. Yeah, 18 is for adult sites, Shu.
I mean, I guess not explicitly adult sites. I guess things like Amazon require to be a full-fledged adult, because then you need to have
Yeah.
like
A
actual
credit
payment
card.
info, right?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is podcast appropriate?
Yeah.
I mean, we just
we
mentioned
can-
it vaguely,
We
you
just
know?
mentioned it. It doesn't mean like we're. It's not like we're just touching on the topic, you know. We're just mentioning.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We
Sorry.
swore in the last episode, so it's fine. It's
We will
fine.
get demonetized.
We're not monetized.
We're
This
not
is
monetized in the first place, yeah.
We can't be monetized.
Imagine we get a sponsor, Raid Shadow.
Okay.
No, well, that would be interesting actually. We got a sponsor for like charity or something.
Okay,
And
thanks
goals.
for listening
And
to
goals.
our podcast, guys. This episode of Late Night Talks is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends and.
No, it's not. It's not. Disclaimer, it's not.
It's sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends and Mobile Legends Bang
Raid
Bang
Shadow
Bang.
Legends. Sponsor us.
That's not the actual name, is it?
It's not. This
not.
episode is not sponsored. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not sponsored. No way.
Please refrain from sending us lawsuits.
Wait.
Yes.
Talking about sponsorship, what's with that thing where everyone suddenly starts hating the YouTuber or like celebrity for sponsoring something?
What?
I don't know about you.
Wait, the
but
celebrities are sponsoring it?
no,
isn't it the
not,
other way
not
around?
Like a celebrity, like let's say someone famous sponsoring something. So like I don't know about you, but I've been watching a lot of art YouTubers, and they suddenly get a lot of hate for sponsoring something. So, like,
Are they sponsoring something, or is the company sponsoring them? Are they just talking about the company?
I think it's the latter.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, because like source of income, you know? It's like, you know, if you think about it, YouTubers' sources of income aren't exactly stable, right?
Yeah, they're
So like they need some other way to make money,
It's
and
like
that's
the
why
stock market.
sponsorships are so that's why sponsorships are so popular. And I mean, they're not popular for the sake of being popular. It's just like a way they can make a living. Otherwise, I mean, you can't rely on YouTube because they just demonetize your videos every like opportunity they get. You know.
You even have a chance. You even have a chance of your video getting taken down if it's considered like non-child friendly. And you can even get sued for it. So like.
Wait, then what's the purpose of YouTube Kids?
That's the thing I don't get actually. Cause like, hey, you know, this video is not suitable for kids, and then
Yeah, but
like,
this is
no, when you upload a
YouTube
video, like when you upload a video, there's two choices. Why pick it's for kids when they'll make sure you're not monetized and they won't like recommend your videos?
Exactly. It's like
What is the
practice.
point?
It's bad practice, and like no one is speaking up about it because they can't.
Yeah, I really feel like YouTube like needs a direct competitor, you know, so they actually improve the site.
Exactly.
Like they've had these problems like so long ago. You know, you got people abusing copyright system, and I feel like monetization's the biggest part. You know, sometimes I feel like they're just demonetizing channels because they want to keep some of the like ad revenue, right?
Yeah.
Because like they make money from ads, so I just assume that, hey, you know, some of the money they get probably just like they don't want to give it to like out to people, and that's why there's like so much demonetization going on. Because if you think about it, they could just allow everyone to have it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Yeah. So what is the point?
They definitely don't want to give it to Felix.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Felix, nah, no Felix. Sorry.
How many years has it been? I'm surprised they're still like, you know, actually they've calmed down a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before, every single one of his videos were
He didn't make any money.
were like they were stuck on limited. You know, he wasn't making any money. That was horrible.
Yeah, like exactly. And you look at my really small channel that nobody watches.
Yeah.
I just have like a few uploaded memes and stuff. Everything got demonetized.
Yeah.
Except I don't understand why.
But that's
Because
just
first of all, I'm
memes.
not making money off of it. Actually, no. The first time I was, I had monetization on for a little bit, and then I stopped using the channel. I come back, and then everything is demonetized. It's like they're trying every opportunity they get to target smaller channels and not give them money, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
then
I
how
feel
do
like-
they grow? You
What do you
just
mean? How
like,
did they grow?
It's like a one-time like explosion. Like you know, it's luck.
Yeah, it's luck. Felix said it best, I'd say.
It's luck.
Like, being a millionaire and stuff, that's just pure luck. You're not like, you know, especially on YouTube, becoming a
Yeah.
like YouTuber millionaire. That's not like a viable goal. You have to be like,
You have to like have a lot of dedication to it.
No, it's not how much hard work you can put into it. It's how viral you can make it, and how lucky you are.
so basically just be as lucky as you can and make the best content you can.
no. I feel like the YouTubers that are still alive to this day are like the ones who are like humble, basically. If you get it across to people, they'll stick with your content. Otherwise, you look at all these other people. I'd say mostly Minecraft YouTubers. I'd say they've
They're
They
like
moved on, honestly.
they're crumbling.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's because I feel like most of these YouTubers, not all of them, but most of them, they put on this facade in order to like appeal. Like, I mean, I guess PewDiePie also had a similar situation, like when his channel was still growing.
Yeah.
But that was back then when you needed to be like over energetic. You needed to like scream and be like enthusiastic, right?
Hi, guys,
Now he's
today
calmed
I
down.
found out
Yeah,
that I was
exactly.
adopted.
Okay.
Okay, Pan. Okay, let me explain to you why hard work on YouTube it just doesn't work like most of the time. You know, I know some channels that only have like what around like 10,000 subscribers, and they pump out like they don't pump out content. They create content that's really good that takes like months to make, and they they upload it and they only get like what a few 100,000 views, and they barely like they only have like so little subscribers.
Yeah.
So it's not about how how good your work is. It's how like lucky you are, and how like the YouTube algorithm treats you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess you could go through other ways of advertising your channel. Except over advertising will make people hate you more.
Yeah, I'll just make you
Yeah.
look like a sellout.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, you paid YouTube to sponsor your videos as ads. People are not gonna stick to your channel because they
Yeah.
find it obnoxious.
Yeah.
So really, that's not good ways. I guess maybe you could rely on a big platform. I guess like Reddit or something, like a big subreddit that a lot of people interact with. If you get lucky enough with like a ton of subreddit, like what was it, upvotes, then maybe they'll like flock to your channel, you know, and then maybe you'll become a viral hit. But like simply relying on YouTube algorithm is kind of bad. It's not a good idea.
YouTube is a bad place to make money.
Mm.
That's why like so many people like they rather prefer like making content on other websites than like doing it on YouTube. Like, they would
And I guess
rather-
why
Uh-huh.
I guess that's why people prefer Twitch
Yeah, they
nowadays.
prefer Twitch.
It's like live streaming, but it relies solely on
People,
like
giving
public
you money.
donations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't rely on like some, like the money making process doesn't go from, okay, like companies advertising, they'll give it to YouTube and then they'll decide how they'll distribute it to the people.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it's, for Twitch, I guess it's a somewhat similar situation, but like, I mean, they're using Streamlabs or something and then people just donate directly to them. I guess, wait,
but then, like,
does Twitch take a cut?
Yeah, Twitch takes like a portion, like I don't know how much, but they take a portion off your money. But at least you still get more money from Twitch than from like YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at least they don't have full control over like where the revenue goes.
Yeah. I mean, even if they if they did, I don't think people would be happy with Twitch. I mean, to be fair, Twitch is owned by Jeff Bezos. So, you know, I don't know if he wants your money or he wants to give you money.
He has too much money.
You know, I mean, I'm not gonna donation shame him for like donating all that money. I'm just saying, like, we don't know what he wants. You know, does he want to give us money or does he want money from us?
I guess
Maybe a
it's
bit
to the
of
point
both.
where it's
Maybe
both.
it's a bit
Yeah.
of both.
Man, that's like
Like
aggressive.
you can't just make a living out of things.
No, you can't make an honest living.
Yeah, you
That's like
can.
not possible. That's like very hard.
Kyoke thinking what you genuinely, quote unquote, genuinely do isn't quote unquote genuine. We're all selfish to an extent.
Ranjit.
Ranjit. I guess like one of the like YouTuber exceptions, I mean besides PewDiePie of course, but like, I mean, you guys know Nigahiga, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nigahiga, he's been at this for like, how many years now? He joined like, I'd say 2007-ish, it was roughly around the same time as Smosh, I guess.
Dude, I watched him since I was like, I don't know, like 7, 8.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And like, I think the reason why he's still doing well is because like he's made a name for himself for how much effort he puts into each video, right?
Yeah, he puts in so much effort. Like,
Yeah,
the work he
exactly.
puts
It
in,
might
it's-
take him, like it might take him months to upload once.
but it's
like,
good. It's content.
ex-
I mean, and it's
Exactly.
It's
That's why
quality.
people come back for more. And
Yeah.
people notice your quality, and it's like, cause he's actually funny, right?
Yeah, he's a funny
So
guy.
it's like if people enjoy your content and they also see how much effort you put into it, they'll want to like keep coming back, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like in his case, it's beneficial too that he uploads like every couple months. Like because, like if you think about it, if you oversaturate your channel with content, and then like it'll begin to die off more. You know,
Yeah.
people just come by and then they'll just watch you for every single day, and then eventually they might get bored or something. You know. But here it's like there's always that little bit of excitement for like whatever you're gonna put out next.
Yeah.
The PewDiePie's like a big exception. He uploads daily and
He's
I don't know how he does it, man.
he works hard, man.
Yeah, and surprisingly, his like content is like still really enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, have you seen his
I-
Half-Life series?
Half-Life Alex, yeah,
Oh,
Did,
oh,
like
no.
the full playthrough of Half-Life Alex. Pretty good.
Okay, guys, we'll be taking a short 5-minute break, bathroom break. We'll be back with you in like 2 seconds because editing magic. Whoosh!
Waboosh.
Waboosh! Go. Hi, guys.
And
we're
welcome back.
We're back
Haha.
once again. Wow.
That was a very short break, wasn't it?
Wow, short break.
Yeah, you'll never know how long we actually took.
You'll never know how long we actually took.
It's like we never even left.
This could have been the next day for all you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him,
Yeah.
Shu.
I mean, it depends on when we upload this.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah. I probably won't be uploading this for like another week. I'm sure. I don't have time to edit these, man.
Wait a minute.
Hey, the last one, I'm still editing it. My Audacity keeps crashing.
Wait, you didn't upload it yet?
No.
You're
Oh
not
wow.
supposed to
Okay, you know,
say
it's
that.
like think of it as a tweet from us, right? You know, 2 podcasts like uploaded on at the same time.
I know. You know, if you're bored and you love listening to us, yeah, you know, we're here for you, man. Or we're
Perfect.
man.
Yeah, whoever you are.
Oh yeah, and we have a quick announcement to
Whoever
make.
is willing to listen to us rant about
we have
politics,
a
even though
quick-
we agreed to not talk about that anymore.
Sure. We have a quick announcement to make.
Yes.
Starting from next episode's podcast, we will be switching up the layout a bit. At the beginning of the podcast, we will be answering your questions that you sent to us via Google Forms that we send to you each Monday.
This is for Northbridge students, by the way.
This is for Northbridge students. If you're watching this at some other time, not at the time of this upload, this is not going to work.
Yes.
This is only for Northbridge students. So don't be expecting any Google Forms link if you're from any other school at any other time.
Imagine we just send out spam email.
Spam email.
Bro, that's not. Whoa.
Let's go.
This is for.
Be interesting. I feel like they could ask us about anything. We'll just discuss.
Yeah. You can ask us
Whatever
about
it is.
any topic. You can ask us to talk about any topic, and we can talk about it.
Also, if you need like some help with tech support, we could probably like
We could probably help
suggest.
you. Yeah, we can. We still need permission from Miss Heidi, but we can probably help you.
Yeah, and just saying, all the questions will be anonymous, so you can send us pretty much anything.
Yes.
You know, as long as it's appropriate, but you can ask us anything. Could be personal too.
Yes. Whether or not we talk about it, you won't know until the episode is uploaded. So. Yeah.
Tune in for more.
But we'll answer it every Friday. Every Friday night.
Friday.
Make sure to respond before that.
Yes. Anything after that is for next week.
Exactly.
Yes. And the second half of our podcast, next episode will just be normal talking, and maybe not even second half. It's just like the 3/4 of I don't know. We just know that we'll dedicate a segment to us answering your questions.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but
Depends
look
on
out
how
for
many
that.
questions we get. Yeah.
Look out for that. All right. Announcement over, guys.
Let's go on to the next segue. Segment. Is segue a word?
Yeah, Segway,
Yeah, it
the
is.
company.
No, I mean like not the like motor segue, but like is a video segue correct? Like a segment?
Like a transition between
like
segments?
SEGUE.
Yeah, I've watched too many Line Detective videos. God.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of his videos until they stopped recommending it to me.
Oh, I go out of my way to look for him. I've got notifications turned on. Like the
Dedication,
nerd I
Andrew.
am. I like tech. Beautiful.
Beautiful. You like that hardware. and software.
All right, let's talk about the best part. Like the most interesting topic. You like money?
Okay.
You like money, guys?
I love money.
Yeah. Okay. Economy. Okay.
Not quite
Okay, when
sure
I'm
what I
thinking
would
about
do
it,
without
like-
money.
Exactly. You know. So like.
quick announcement.
um,
We're going into a recession. Prepare for that.
Oh no.
Wow. Han.
Oh no.
Don't
the
listen.
coronavirus is hitting us.
Don't listen to Pan. He has no facts and figures. You probably heard it from CNN.
Perfect. There we go.
He did no research. He just took it from some news outlet. Don't trust Pan.
Oh, guys, remember when GameStop refused to close because they labeled themselves as an essential business.
Yeah.
Essentials, you know? I mean, they sell video games, right?
People need to buy video games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, right,
That's,
you know, it's
that's an
essential.
you know.
If we
I
don't
mean, I
buy
guess-
video games,
I guess entertainment is like important during like the quarantine, but you know, this digital distribution, that's a normal thing.
not
Nowadays, at
sponsored
least.
by Steam. Not sponsored by Steam.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, you know? So like, I guess physical copies are, they might take a hit actually. People like not wanting to produce as many physical copies now
Yeah.
of games because they
I mean,
can't sell them.
doesn't
But
it
that's
cost
not.
more.
No, it costs
doesn't?
pretty much the same.
Wow.
No, it's even cheaper. Online.
Is it cheaper?
Mhm.
Yeah, it is cheaper online sometimes.
You get more sales on Steam than at the physical retailer.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. But actually, wait, that's interesting when you think about how, because they're using Blu-ray discs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're using Blu-ray discs for the games at least. But like when you look at these like price dips in like older games, that like they're still on Blu-ray discs, but you can buy them for like $8-10. What's the manufacturing cost of a Blu-ray disc?
Probably cheap.
pretty
How
cheap.
much is one disc
Is it?
even?
That's interesting because like from what I have bought, they're always pretty expensive, right?
It's individual, you know.
Mm.
If you purchase it in bulk, it's probably really cheap.
Actually, I found one. Actually, yeah, that's true. Okay, 25 gigabyte, recordable, 16 discs. That's
Okay, I will go look up on Alibaba for Blu-ray disc.
oh. Wait, no, that's not 16. Okay, for 50 pack, a 50 pack of Blu-ray disc on Amazon by a company named bedtme. For 50, it's 38.99. That's actually decent.
Wait
That's
for
like
what?
less than for
Wait,
a
what's the
50
size?
pack of 25 gigs.
Oh.
That's decent.
Or you could buy it from China. It's like way cheaper. This
So that makes sense. Okay.
This one is 50 gigs and it's like around like 10 cents a piece.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Jesus. So I guess like when you're buying movies or games, then like mostly the price is just for the game itself.
It's just the
That's why-
advertising. It's the advertising cost. It's a marketing
Yeah,
cost.
so then physical and digital are priced roughly the same because it's pretty much roughly the same to make. Huh.
Okay, so this 25 gigs Blu-ray disc. It's around 10 cents a piece.
That's so cheap.
I know.
Huh. I swear to God, my DVD or like my burnable disc over there, I feel like cost more.
Yeah, it
Or
costs
maybe
more
I got
because
ripped off.
you know it costs more because you're selling it like for like you know you're not buying a lot. You're just
Oh yeah,
buying
that's
a little
true.
bit.
Because you look at these companies like Sony, the one that are distributing this disc, I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like, I mean, there's economies of scale, right? Manufacture more, cost less.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, and this
I learned something new today.
dude, and this seller, they even have like the whole process of like, oh, here's how we make our products. Like, oh, we get this material, and we clean the workshop or some stuff, and then we have high precision molds or something.
It's quality assurance.
Yeah, quality. I mean, yeah.
But in some videos like that, like what do you call it? Like it helps boost their supporter, so they're more like willing to buy it.
I mean, yeah, that's just marketing.
It's marketing.
If it looks good, if they think they're buying whatever they're like explaining, like the process, this like, yeah. Have you seen OnePlus's quality control?
No, I don't know what that is.
I heard
OnePlus, like the
pretty
phones, it's like
Oh.
insane.
It's pretty good.
And of course, I watched the Linus Tech Tip video on it. So like he went through the like factory, and like
Oh.
each station.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
No. You say because I remember watching the video, and he had to wear that whole fucking suit.
Yeah, he had to wear that whole suit, and then like by the time he got to the end of the video, I feel like each phone must have gone through like at least 100 employees.
You know,
like they go through like extreme testing too.
I'm not gonna
like-
lie. I feel like it's safer in a OnePlus factory than in the CDC in Wuhan.
Probably true.
I'm probably gonna have to cut
case,
this out.
yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to cut this out, but
Controversial opinions. Let's
I'm
go.
sorry. Whoever's listening to this, I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I can't say leave because I'm trying to get people to listen.
You can say that after the first lot of.
Yeah, I doubt I'll become successful. It's
Hey, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know, man. One can dream,
Be optimistic.
Be optimistic.
Yeah, instead of saying half empty, say half full.
Or just pour it out.
Whatever happens, happens. Okay, let's go.
Alright.
Next.
Okay, guys. So usually we ask you, but we forgot. How are you guys? How's your week?
It's
I think
been
it was like a
meh.
decent week.
It's been
It's
meh.
better than it's better than last week at least.
I don't know. I feel like there's more work each week, and I'm feeling like a bit more stress each week too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true,
true.
yeah.
The stress is building up. Like they say, the new schedule is supposed to like help students take their time away from the computers,
That's a lie.
so that yeah.
Yeah, that is a lie.
There's homework like every day.
I know, and it's like I think we spend more time behind our computers now than we did when we were at school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is so true. Because like I remember there's this one day at school I brought my computer. We all brought our computer with us, right?
And we didn't even use
The
it.
entire day we didn't even use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are days like that at school, and it's like it's so simple, right?
Mm.
And I feel like the implementation of the new like schedule is it's a really big miss.
Yeah.
Like, the opportunity was
Like
there,
they think they're
but,
giving
like,
us like free time.
Yeah, it's like you have like 2 days of pretty much just like, oh, you catch up on work. You get to spend time off your computer. That sounds
Yeah,
good
but
and all,
here's
but the way
thing.
they've done it is that they'll pile on work for those specific days, and some days I can't even leave the computer because I have to finish all the work.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. So like basically I don't understand what they mean by getting time off your computers, because one thing for all, every single task we're given requires us to open our computer to do it on the computer, or requires us to turn on the computer so that we can submit it through the computer.
Yeah, and
So I'm like,
and to like further emphasize on Andy's point of constantly building up on those 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you know, we don't even get free time as because like during consultation days, we should go meet our teachers or like contact our supervisors or stuff like that, even though it's considered to be our time to like sort of relax and get away from our computer. So I don't see why.
DP students. So like for
Yeah.
Like
DP
those-
students, I feel like those consultation days are just times for us where we have to meet with our teachers or EE supervisor for a meeting, because it's
And
like
finish homeworks. Like, finish a lot of homework.
Yeah,
So-
but you okay, continue. Just
Yeah, but like, I feel like that's no different from a normal day of school. If you're spending all day in front of the computer to like talk with your supervisors, your like, I mean, you can check up with your advisor, right? That's like a mandatory thing.
yeah.
And then you have to finish all the work you were given for that specific day. And then it's like pretty much like a normal school like day basically. It ends up becoming that.
And here's the thing, right? Like in the morning, on consultation days, we have to check in for advisory. And you know, they said they want to give us time so we can manage our time, right?
Oh, you know what? That's true.
So how can we manage our time if we manage by like?
Yeah, I feel like they should really move the advisory to some time that's later in like the afternoon or something, because
Or 10 o'clock.
exactly, having it at 8 o'clock, you know, some people don't even get enough sleep normally, and then like Tuesdays and Thursdays they're supposed to be helping, but like
dude, I
if you have
remember-
like if you're forcing us to wake up at 8, then you know it's kind of
Counterintuitive. to that.
contradictory. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
yeah,
dude,
counterintuitive is a better
I
word.
remember not having breakfast until like 10 on a Tuesday just because I had advisory at 8.
Oh, that's a normal thing for me.
And sleeping itself during online school is really hard.
Yeah, right? Because like you're in front of your screen all day anyways. It's harder to fall asleep after that.
Exactly. And you know they're like, oh yeah, get fit, get physical, but like, you know, sometimes we have work.
You don't even have time to get physical most of the time.
Exactly.
I mean,
And like,
I would like find a bit of spare time to like maybe go exercise and play basketball a bit.
Yeah, cause you play with your brother, bro.
We have
You
no one.
feel more motivation. You feel more motivated to do it. Like if you did it yourself, you just be like, fuck.
Honestly, I'd agree to that statement.
Yeah. Cause you know when I do it alone, I just feel so like sad and like lonely. It's like
Because I play with
Same
him,
here.
I show off my skills and I do like stupid stuff like half time.
and you win and you have fun, right?
Yeah.
And if you play basketball by yourself, you can't win. You always win because you play by yourself.
and the thing about my house, I'd say I don't have enough space to like do all that. You know, there's like no free space. It's just like really clustered areas. Yeah, there's no like. The thing is, the actual equipment there is kind of First of all, it's pretty old. Like the one thing I can use, I guess, is dumbbells.
Oh, dumbbells.
Right.
They never grow old, you know, because they're always heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always heavy. They don't become less heavy over
You're
time.
not wrong.
I mean, they might become they might become less heavy, but they won't become like significantly less heavy.
I mean, thing is, I have a choice between treadmill. Like, you think about like running on a treadmill, it's so boring. Unless you're like,
You just
oh, maybe
stop.
you put on like a video or something you're watching. But then you're still not like, you know, you're still not away from
It
a
doesn't
screen.
feel the same as like running and like looking at the environment.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It feels
exactly.
a lot more tiring.
And you know, okay, my problem with running and watching something is usually I lose focus of my form and how I run. So I end up like tripping and like you know, I just run like sideways and I don't run straight anymore. So it's very distracting, you know.
That's true. Thing is, for me, I try to go into like I guess a constant like motion first.
Yeah.
You know, if I have that fall and I can just do it like with muscle memory, and then maybe it might work. But still, it's still not the best. You know, running on a treadmill.
I think this is the second time we talk about it, but I sort of miss cross country practice.
Oh, same.
Like waking up early.
Yeah, waking up early to run and see, like you know, you're not the only one suffering. You know, like you're not alone.
Dude, I feel
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the moment semester 2 hits, I just became less dedicated to cross country. Cause like if you haven't noticed, even if it was just like February, I never went to the meets that often anymore.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, you started swimming, didn't you?
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're tackling both, that might be an issue.
Yeah. Like you know, like when you're running on a treadmill, it feels like you're not going anywhere.
That's true.
It feels like you're running in one place, and the ground under you is moving. You're not moving, you know.
That's
No,
pretty much what's happening.
I feel like it'd be more likely for you to trip on the treadmill than you are to run on like
Exactly.
an actual place.
Exactly, because like
Even
when you're
though you're
running
just
in an
running
actual,
on a conveyor belt.
yeah, when you're running on an actual place, like even though it's rougher and everything, you still pay more attention to it. You know, when you're running on the treadmill, you just run without thinking about it, right? So it's like, it's better for awareness too if you just run out like in open spaces, because you pay attention to where you're going and you feel like there's an actual sense of direction and progress, right? If you're running in place, then there's none of that. You just get tired. That's it.
And less motivated because you know you're just gonna be standing there
Yeah,
for
exactly.
like I don't know how long.
Like you won't reach your goal. You know, you only reach your goal when you look at that screen below you and it tells you, oh, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers. Like
But it doesn't feel like that much.
it doesn't feel. It feels like you. It just doesn't feel good.
It feels longer, honestly.
It feels horrible. Like maybe I'm just being a little bitch, but you know, I really hate running on treadmills. Like I hate it.
Yes, I can agree on that. I've done that 3 or 4 times in the first semester after like I don't know.
Sometimes I still pretty much
Mhm.
force myself to do it just because I know it'll benefit me. But like,
Yeah.
God.
But it's really it's really hard to force yourself.
If you're running in an actual like open space where you actually know where like you're going somewhere, then you might actually feel motivated to run.
Oh. Yeah. Like you know, like when you feel the air like brushing against your face.
Can't wait for VR headsets.
And then just put a fan in front of your face and then you start running.
Perfect, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Yes, be careful not to sneeze.
But think about how cool it'd be if you had like a, I think like multi-dimensional treadmill that adjusts
Oh.
depending on where you are in the game. and
Oh,
you
like
pretty much
in
just,
like in Mr. Bean, like in Johnny English.
Mr. B.
Oh wait, I feel like kind of.
Remember
pretty much
Johnny
that,
English?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about if you could like simulate elevation too. That would be like you just forget you were in real life, you know.
Exactly.
I
That'd be
feel like-
like.
Because I feel like most of the VR tech is there. I feel like it's just
Someone has to do it.
movement they haven't figured out.
Yeah. Elon Musk. Hello.
Teleportation, joystick, you know, none of those feel immersive. I mean, I guess it's like you can play in room scale, but then you're like there's walls. You can't exactly walk continuously.
I know. But man,
still have
that Johnny English treadmill, I would want to like walk on that.
Same. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Now I've seen people try to. They're attempting to make it, and I feel like they've somewhat successfully
Yeah.
done it ish, but it's still not a commercial product, and I don't think it's gonna become a commercial product anytime soon.
We looking at you, Elon Musk. Hello,
He's a gamer.
Elon Musk.
He is a gamer though.
Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry for the abrupt pause that you never knew about.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Yes. All right, we were talking about Elon Musk and treadmills.
Treadmills, yeah.
Treadmills.
I feel like he has bought things like. I feel like he's busy with other things right now, so
Yeah.
depends on whether he'll actually be interested in pursuing it. But like, I guess he's focused on AI, and he's done a lot of like, innovative things.
Yeah. I just think he needs someone to put the idea in his head. You know, he made a flamethrower. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The flamethrower was perfect. So it wasn't really a flamethrower. It's kind of like a mouth.
Oh, did you know that there was this flamethrower that is sold for $500?
What?
Yeah.
It doesn't really. It's apparently it's not that great.
The Boring Company's one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, it's $500?
I'm not sure actually. Wait, I'll look it up.
I don't know, cause last time I saw it was 500. I don't know if anything happened, but like, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, it's $500. Yeah.
bro, it's just it's just like the casing and then like a tube.
Pretty much.
It's just a hose with an opening knob twist thingy. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you buy your own gas tank and you just connect it.
I mean, they're not allowed to ship.
You're not allowed to ship your gas tanks, man. It's gonna explode.
You know, you carefully handle it. You know.
But to be
Okay.
fair, it's just a propane torch. It's not exactly a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's a propane torch. It's just a glorified propane torch.
Looks cool.
It looks cool. That's all that matters.
You know, maybe that's why it was a good idea.
Yeah. What about he makes a cool treadmill?
We'll just spam his Twitter. Speaking of video games, e-athletes.
No, they're athletes, bro. You don't need to call them e-athletes, bro. They're just athletes.
They are. Yeah, when you think about the media, they're still heavily against, that whole playing video games professionally kind of thing. I feel like it's because these people have never played these games that they don't think it's actually hard.
Yeah.
They're just kind of passing it off like, oh, it's a video game. It's stupid. It's a waste of your time. I mean, you can pretty much say that about chess, I guess. Because, chess is a sport, right? And it's considered an actual,
Chess is a sport?
Bowling is a sport.
It's considered a sport. And you think about chess, it's if you tell people, oh, playing chess, professionally, they'll be like, whoa. They'll be, impressed, right?
Mm.
Because, intellect. If you're a good chess player, you're probably really smart.
Yeah.
But then if you tell anyone, you're like, hey, I play video games for a living.
Yeah,
I'm
they'll
a
be like,
professional video game player, and it's it doesn't really, it doesn't
Like-
sit
it
well
doesn't
with
have
them.
the same.
Like someone needs to break that stigma, It's a
Exactly,
horrible.
because I feel like these people, they really underestimate how hard it is to actually play it, these games professionally.
Yeah, it's not like Pac-Man where you can't play competitively. Like competitive players train for 16 hours a day.
Fair, that's a bit much.
Dude, they actually do train 16 hours a day.
No, but nowadays I feel like there's more organized regimens
Yeah.
for training. I feel like it's usually around 8 hours a day, and they actually have their workout
Yeah,
session. Like,
yeah. They speak to a psychologist. They work out and stuff like that. But before they worked really hard, man. They worked like 16 hours a day and sleep for like 6 hours, and like I don't know what they do for the rest of the 2 hours.
Probably eat and sleep.
Yeah, like they work really hard. It's not like what people think. Oh, these guys are lazy. They sit on their asses all day. Like anyone can play video games. Like no, not everyone can play video games at that level.
exactly. And I feel like the most underrated genre of like professional video games, I'd say it's fighting games.
Yeah, fighting games, dude. It's so hard to learn like the smallest little tricks that will help you like win. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I've tried time and time again to actually play these games well, and it's like the amount of command inputs.
Yeah,
and,
you have to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Like all these command inputs and moves, all these combos you have to execute with like frame perfect timing
Exactly.
and everything. It's insane. And then like you have to like quickly react to things as well. Like, oh, an opponent is jumping towards you and trying to like kick you. You're supposed to anti-air them by pulling a specific move that hits them in the air, So it's like the amount of thinking you have to do in like that specific moment is just God. I could never do that.
Yeah, and like the thing about like fighting games is like they spend so much time playing it. They know those little tricks. Like they practice like some moves that that requires like I don't know. Like requires you to try 300,000 times to get it like once.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I guess that's why you look at like fighting game wikis and they're always showing frame data.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you block this move, the opponent will be delayed by 3 frames and you'll gain frame advantage or something. People have that thing, like those things memorized that I don't know. Jesus.
And I find it really annoying.
Just the whole stigma behind it.
Okay, guys, can we pause?
Huh?
So it keeps on happening.
What keeps?
Okay, guys, we're back. So we were talking about the frame advantage and fighting games, right?
Yeah. Like all these little statistics that these players have to keep track of.
Like they have to be very technical,
Exactly. Like fighting games are all about being technical.
Yeah.
But then I feel like putting in like more and more effort into like memorizing all these different frame advantages and stuff. Like, I guess I don't know how practical it'd be, but I know a lot of people do that.
I mean, people... I can say the same for basketball, like what basketball is just okay. If you don't consider video games as a sport, then basketball is just a game where people throw balls at each other. Can everyone do that? Can everyone just throw a ball into like a net? It's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of grown men trying to fight for one ball that you won't even score. Like sometimes it will just be 0-0 and it'll just like you won't even score. Like you're just trying to protect this one ball. Like
yeah, pretty much. And it's like I feel like one of the biggest reasons why video game like spectatorship has like skyrocketed and has beaten pretty much any other sport. People watch it because it's entertaining. You look at soccer, it's a bunch of people just kicking a ball, and you're looking at it from really far away.
But don't get me wrong. I like it's like it's those athletes that work really hard to like get where they are right now. Like they work hard,
Exactly, and it's like, I feel like that's a really big problem with me, like the stigma behind it as a whole, because they don't think these people earned it.
Yeah. They think, like, it's easy.
Yeah, and I respect all these like sports players too, all these like soccer and basketball players.
Yeah,
in terms of in terms of simply like a spectator standpoint, I feel like that's why video games nowadays have edged over in terms of viewership.
Yeah.
Because like entertainment, this is what people want to see.
It sucks.
Yeah.
like because if they say, oh yeah, anyone can go out there and play video games.
And that's pretty much what news that's what news reporters have been saying too. They hear about like, hey, he's been making like $2 million, and they're like, what? I could probably do that.
Then why aren't you doing it? Why you
Exactly.
broadcasting the news? Like,
Why do you
and
think
also,
only this one guy like won the grand prize?
and also like, okay, let's compare it to golf. It's just a bunch of rich old men hitting a tiny ball and hoping it goes into a hole. But the greatest, it gets technical, right? Like when sports gets technical, that's when it becomes like a sport, right?
Exactly.
So the same should be for video games.
Yeah, there's so much thinking behind it too.
Yeah.
Not to like discredit golf, even though it might be like a bit boring to watch.
Yeah, but there's a lot of technicalities like to golf,
Exactly. There's a lot of skill to it, and
Yeah.
that's exactly why video games should be a sport.
Exactly.
It is a sport, but not much people. Like a lot of people are still like.
No, it's like technically classified as a sport, but not enough people respect that. They
Yeah.
have like the wrong idea behind it.
Yeah. Oh, while we're talking about video games, have you guys seen the new trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Valhalla. Hey.
Yeah.
I saw it yesterday, and
So apparently, the guy had a hidden blade on his arm, like on top, on the top part of his arm.
Assassin's Creed stuff, usual, yeah.
No, but it's on top of the arm, So he's
On top of the arm.
yes, on top of the
Oh,
arm.
like
It's not at it's not at like the palm area, like the area below your arm,
Wait, how would that be effective? Actually, wait, maybe it might work if you had armor that was specifically like held the blade.
Yeah, but you realize that Ezio, he cut off a finger, right? Just so his hidden blade can be hidden there, and so he can just like retract the knife and like pull it out whenever he wants, right? And it'll be hidden, right?
Ah.
So if you put it on top of your forearm, that defeats the whole purpose of a hidden blade.
Historical inaccuracy.
Vikings with hidden blades.
The whole game itself is like urban.
I mean,
It's based on history, but
it's based on
It's-
history, but in
but
terms
it's
of
given
like
enough things
Mhm.
to make it less real and more into its own packed universe.
yeah, that's the biggest problem I have with Assassin's Creed actually. It's like I guess like going through different locations every game and like exploring like like it's the same gameplay but like in a separate setting. And it's
Yeah.
like the historical element is really cool, but the whole thing about the animus and like the whole you're actually like a 13-year-old child
Yeah, that's
in
just
like that's ridiculous. I don't know why they can't just stick to like a linear plot instead of having like, oh, you're actually in a simulation. Like, I don't care. Just give, because that ruins the whole plot of the game, doesn't it?
yeah. Even the movie, like, why? Why did you have to go with that, like, that whole shit?
Exactly, and everything happens in the game. So what's the point of having like a separate life outside that you're in a simulation? There's no point. The game is the game.
It's like an isekai,
Yeah, basically like the like that whole 13-year-old, like you're actually like a teenager in a simulation thing is just so that people relate to the character and feel like you're playing it or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
like we don't care, Nobody cares about that.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's one of the reasons why Assassin's Creed has been declining over the years, because I don't know. It's like the design choices are questionable.
Guys are,
Also microtransactions.
oh, that's horrible.
Well, I don't know what to say about that, cause like, aside from their whole aesthetic with like how
Okay, then let's talk about
something.
let's talk about something we can all talk about.
Hmm.
I don't-
When do you think school will reopen?
next
Not in a long
semester.
time.
Hopefully, a month
Hopefully.
from now.
Hopefully,
I wouldn't
before
say a
our
month. I'd say
graduation.
yeah. I'd say at least by the end of this school year.
You know, honestly, I just
I
want
heard CIA's opening
next week.
What?
What the fuck?
Really? Why?
You know-
That's what my
you know-
mom told me.
But why?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I really want school to start again. Like I hate this online schooling stuff, man. Even though I get to wake up like pretty late sometimes,
Dude,
like
I don't even get to wake up late. I
Yeah,
wake up
true.
the same exact fucking time I wake. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
you-
please
you-
cut out that.
no, it's okay.
No, it's
We're allowed to swear.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like there's nothing different about it. I feel like
Yeah.
it's still the same school schedule. It just feels more stressful.
Yeah, so I want to go back to school, okay? Like I miss everyone. I miss the DP room. I miss going to
Even though
teachers'
it's
class.
very stinky.
Yeah, I know. I miss going to like the classes, like walking to the classes.
Mm-hmm.
I miss
And-
going into the grade 12 physics class when we have chem.
Yeah, exactly.
You do that.
And I also,
Like, every time.
you know, I miss just hanging out after school, man. It was so fun.
Oh whoa, wait! The school protests about like parents protesting fees has been on the news. I just looked it up.
Oh,
Oh
like,
yeah, my dad talked about
dumping.
that this morning too.
it's called friction.
It's called
I feel
what?
I mean, like the main focus in like the Phnom Penh Post at least is CIA. That's what they're focusing
Oh
on.
yeah.
Like there was like a lot of. Oh wait, actually wait, I'm looking it up now. 97 families gathered to protest in front of Paragon International School. Why have they gathered? Why have they gathered during
I know
during a
it's.
pandemic?
Hey guys, I'm gonna show you this
Makes
photo
no sense, but
and tell me if it looks familiar, okay?
okay.
Go look at it on general.
Okay.
Tell me if this looks familiar.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yes.
I found this on the CIA online learning website.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute.
They did they really just change the color and like
It's like a bootleg version, you know. It's like a bootleg. It's like made in China.
Appropriate.
Made with Microsoft
They didn't
Paint.
bother changing anything.
I know. It's made with Microsoft Paint, right?
Pretty much, yeah. They pretty much just right-clicked, opened it with paint, and then just used the paint bucket tool.
Oh my god, this is so funny. I can't. North Bridge, do something, please. Please go.
Nice though. 97 families gathering in front of Paragon. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, why would you gather? Like, are you gonna social distance yourself while you're gathering, or like?
Okay, is it like? I mean, I guess they're wearing masks, cool, but like at the same time, why?
You know, guys, the first few weeks of this online school felt awesome. Like
Oh,
for
yeah.
You know, that's true. Yeah.
no,
That is so
like this
true.
new schedule makes everything feel so overwhelming.
Hmm.
You know,
I get it.
like
We don't have like a lot of classes anymore, but like
I mean, the thing is,
homeworks
I
are
feel
more
like it's just
chunkier.
yeah, I feel like it's just a homework problem, and also it's an environment problem because you're doing
Yeah.
homework at home, and it just
you're
feels a lot
studying.
more.
You're studying at home. You're doing
Dude.
homework at home. You're doing everything at home.
Dude,
Yeah, it's like
you
suffocating,
don't know
honestly.
the amount of times I actually fall asleep doing homework.
The amount of
Like,
home I
even
spent
fall
doing
asleep in
home.
class, what the
Shoot,
I remember that day I sat all day just doing what was it, peer feedback and self feedback for homework.
Oh, peer feedback.
the TOK homework though. Oh my god.
Yes, like Jesus,
Horrible.
I spent my entire
Terrible.
like weekend, not weekend. I spent like an entire day But still, like imagine homework that takes up an entire day to actually finish.
And it's not just that one homework, it's all the other subjects too.
Exactly. So you like, one whole day is taken up by this one assignment, and then you got other ones you have to finish, in a separate day. You only have 2 days in a weekend.
I'm sure what they're trying to like, this whole thing is supposed to try to mimic like college life, but in college, you're not really fighting for your life to get a diploma.
Yeah, true. You're in college already.
You're in college. But here, you're fighting for your life for the diploma.
And also, the subjects are focused.
Yes, and it's
so like the assignments, they are things that they're consistent, right? They're not like constantly switching like subjects, doing homework for this, doing homework for that. Like if you set your mind onto like something specifically, then you'll have more focus onto it, yeah?
Exactly.
High school.
This is so tiring. Like this new 3-day schedule is supposed to make it more relaxed, but I feel very tired.
Yeah. I was looking forward to it the first time they announced it, but then
Oh,
after
yeah. I
all the
remember all of
homework,
us.
Like the first week, it was okay.
Dude, I remember all of us being like, oh my god, yes, finally we can get more sleep the second week. Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna be having advisory at 8 on the Tuesday, so yeah, look forward to that.
and then they're gonna start
It's
shooting homework
so
at us like pew
useless.
pew pew.
I know. We just go into advisory and be like, hi, bye.
Yeah, pretty much. They're just like,
Exactly.
oh, okay,
That
I'll
is
take
what
up.
we
I mean, I
do
guess
nowadays.
it's for like you and your advisor to like talk things out, tell him
Yeah.
But we're not
what you
even
have.
talking anything out.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's just
we
you
just
join,
go
he takes
there.
attendance, we leave.
Exactly.
I feel like it's their way of like having us wake up early.
Yeah, but that's counterintuitive. Think about it.
Like
Oh, we want a day that you can relax, actually get enough sleep. Then you proceed to not make us get enough sleep.
Yeah. And like this whole Monday, Friday, like having class from like 11, starting from like 11 or something. Like it's really like it's pointless. Like okay, let's say we start
Even more weird.
yeah.
Like the schedules sometimes they clash. Like they don't even like set it out properly. So like
Exactly.
some of my classes, it's moved to the consultation days or the quote unquote free blocks because I can't have class on the day it's been assigned.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's the point of consultation days if like teachers are just gonna move their classes onto those days?
Exactly. And okay, if you think about it, like okay, instead of having classes, instead of having 2 blocks free, or like instead of having 2 blocks free before class, why don't we just start class at 8 and end it at 12?
Exactly.
Sounds good, yeah.
Is that too much to ask for? And then the 2 hours from like 12 to 3, then you can have your consultation hours,
Yeah, like I don't even care if we have class from 8 to 12 every weekday, as long as the rest of the day is free.
Yeah, and for
That's
Tuesdays,
what people look forward to.
yeah, and for Tuesdays and Thursdays, you don't have to impose like your like okay, you have to make it feel like school, but it won't feel like school no matter how hard you try. Like we don't miss school because of waking up at 8. We miss school because of the experiences and like the people we meet and our friends and the environment.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Like,
miss
you're not
school
gonna
to
feel-
wake up at 8.
Yeah, you're not gonna feel at school by like working on your laptop in like your room. You're familiar with this room, and it's like, if you're always in this room and then you feel suffocated, right?
Yeah.
I remember just moving to my library. It's not technically a library because
Well, you have a
it's
library.
just a
That's
room.
cool.
Oh, that's lit.
It's literally a room, a very small room where we put our the very big Wi-Fi router thingy, like the one we install before we add extensions to it.
Yeah.
I remember just moving to that small room just to get a change of like environment so I can work on something.
Basically, I can't really focus anywhere else inside my house.
Pretty much same. I just move onto the floor.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
It's
But-
either the table or the floor.
Yeah. And you know, like they think, oh yeah, if we make them wake up early, then they'll feel like in school, right? They'll feel like they'll be at school and they have to shower, they have to wake up, they have to shower, woo! But it's not.
It's not school.
It's not school. No matter how hard you try to make it like school, it'll never be like school.
Exactly.
It's such a boomer way of trying to fix problems, you know.
It might feel similar. It's not quite, but we'll just do it,
It's like it's not why we go to school. I mean, from our perspective, huh?
I feel like in terms of cross country, that's another good thing about running in the morning at school. All the trees, all the foliage and everything. It's nice.
It's refreshing.
And over here, you're running on a treadmill. Indoors.
Yeah, indoors under an aircon or something.
I don't even have an aircon.
That's even worse. See, like what? Like it's bad. It's like they. I know they're trying, but at least ask us for like opinions on like.
I mean, yeah, it's true. I guess we could approach them and everything, but at the same time, it's like, it's also kind of worrying that they'll be condescending in a way. It's like, that's not, I'm not saying that's like a guarantee, but it's like, sometimes I feel like they think that they're doing like good enough, and then when like students want more, they're just being greedy. That's what I'm scared about getting back.
But here's the thing, right? Okay, they give us a survey and ask us how they can improve. That's we won't know what to tell you.
Pretty much.
But instead, how about you give us suggestions like, hey, should we do this? Or should we do this?
That's a better idea. Should they implement this before they do it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They should try to just send us like us or our parents links or surveys to complete saying whether they should do this or that. Rather than just doing it on the spot.
Exactly. Like if you give us a big block of text to write our stuff in, we obviously can't think of like what we need to change because we're tired and we're exhausted and we're just like, I'm glad it's over. Like you hand us a survey at the end of the week, but it doesn't help.
And another thing is that the last survey that we got was before they implemented this whole thing.
And the entire, like literally in that survey, all I remember was them asking, oh, are you getting more stress or less stress? Oh, how can we help?
Oh yeah, the
For
questions are so
every
like
single
basic.
subject.
Like the questions are just questions between questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. What's your English or language class? Humanities and social sciences, I guess. Sciences.
And them asking the most creative thing about our class, like.
Okay, that is ridiculous. Like, what is the most creative process you've had in this class? What is the most unengaged? And it's like, we're in DP, pretty much
Nothing.
okay, you look at English, right? Where's the creative process? You don't have it. They took it away from you ages ago.
It's just us discussing about a blog post.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not the teachers or the school's part, more like IB trying to like remove creative they're removing creative assignments.
For most subjects, because like in art, I don't know, because I don't take it. None of us take it except you. In art, it's a creative
arts also
subject,
has
right?
a similar problem.
But that's
Basically there are
subject.
But so there are two mandatory assignments. It's the process portfolio first of all, which is the one that makes the most sense, right? But then there's also the comparative study. And the thing about both of these is that they also have to like follow really specific IB guidelines, right? So really, the only creative process about like visual arts as a subject is your own art making. Everything else has to follow a specific like
Set of rules.
rule set. Yeah, they tell you what to do, and how you get marks depends on how much you follow those.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
so
creative.
so like you can't really express yourself, and at the same time be like, oh, hey, look, I'm gonna get 7s.
Yeah. I mean, thing is, I don't have that much of a problem with the process portfolios. First of all, because you're mostly talking about your own experiences. Yeah. You're talking about the artwork you made and how you made it. But when it comes to like the comparative study, it's like, I don't know. It's like, okay, first of all, formal analysis. You know, all like the lines, the colors, blah blah blah. And you write about the cultural context and whether like the artwork is significant.
Oh, I
Like,
remember.
was it significant in this time? I'm like,
remember. I remember when I had to do it. Miss
and
Jen.
I'm just like, I don't care.
I remember
do not give a
that
shit.
was the reason why I didn't want to take DP art.
Miss Jen was the reason why I didn't want to take art, man.
Yeah,
I
like, no
did-
offense.
I did
No
not
offense,
like
her
her.
class was fun. Her class was fun and all because we had a lot of time to talk to each other.
Her class was
We
fun, but
did.
she was not a good teacher.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it makes sense in terms of like, okay, artist standpoint, you should know when this art is made or whatever, what like how it was influenced. But I feel like they take it a bit too far sometimes. Like we don't need to know the significance of every artwork. Sometimes they're just pretty much, you know,
What are you
they're
gonna be
there
like
for you to look at, there for you to analyze. You don't have to like look up the entire artist's like backstory.
museum connoisseur?
And pretty much you have to look through his entire life and then find, oh, this might have influenced this artwork in a way.
He ate cereal for breakfast. That was why.
It might be because of my mindset, because I feel more like the results of it matter more. You know, like whatever they made.
I feel like we live in a society.
We live in society.
We live in a society. We live in a society where expressing yourself just for being yourself, it's not encouraged. But if you express yourself and it fits with how people how people want things to be, then it's encouraged.
And then it'll be popular, yeah.
Yeah, and I find that like really like, you know, it's kind of trash.
Bad.
Trash. Like cause like you're, even if you're expressing yourself and people don't like it, like, you know, they'll just shit on you and just like put you somewhere else on like a shelf and leave you to like rot or something, right?
I feel like if someone shits on you, I think you should try to ask them like for not criticism.
but like you know, sometimes just because you don't fit the norm, that like people shit on you just because you don't fit the norm.
Yeah, but that's the point of art, isn't it? Because like there are some things that are just not how you say this, usual in the time or period you're in when you're creating that art.
Like the toilet. Remember the toilet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that toilet.
Like what people shit on it just because it's not like orthodox art.
They shit on it.
They shit in it. It's a toilet.
God. Actually, I think like you look at critics in art, and it's like you don't know whatever they're thinking. Like a lot of these artists, I feel like some of them they profit off like their artworks they made or something. They aren't like exactly great. Like you seen like those paintings that like of solid color.
Yeah.
That got like sold for like a couple million. I'm just like, I don't understand these people. Like whoever's buying it mostly.
I don't understand why there's this one painting with just a circle drawn onto the canvas.
See, like why do you like things like art, right? Why do you need people critiquing it? Why can't you be the critique? You know,
I think it's more like the artist never finds value, like the good part in their own art. So if they're the viewers who are looking at their art judge it based on their own opinion and not because of how much work they put in. I feel like the artists
but it
feel
shouldn't
more...
fit. It shouldn't fit in the subset of rules. You know, it should just be however you want, whatever you want. If people like it, then they like it. If they don't like it, then they don't like it. You know, like you don't have to fit like you know, like the whole idea is that you don't have to fit this whole array of like ideas that people think of what people think art is. You know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I think it's artists tend to be pretty cynical about their own work.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's just maybe the way I'm judging artwork is wrong. But the way I feel is that if it enlists an emotional response from you, then it'll probably be a good artwork, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You know, it doesn't matter if you say that like another person says that artwork is bad. If to you it's good, then it's good. You know.
Yeah, that's why like some rich guy bought a painting of solid blue, you know?
Maybe he just thought it's blue.
Reminds me of the sky.
Maybe it just speaks to him, you know, like everything else.
You know, I feel like artists, actually, yeah, sometimes artists, I feel like they hit you in like a really specific way. You think about like, hey, you know, I look at blue, and then some dude comes by like, oh, this reminds me of that time when I had a crush in like high school. We were staring at the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a really specific thing that makes you want to buy the artwork, right?
Yeah.
But
Otherwise,
wait,
I can't
wait.
rationalize it any other way. I don't know why else they would buy it.
Would this also apply? Because like, you know how sometimes in art, the older the artwork is, the higher its value is. So like,
Why?
if
You know, it's only valuable after the artist dies.
yeah, so I don't really get it. So I'm like, what if the painting itself is really crap, but because the painter himself or herself is very famous, the painting has like this significant value. Would you buy it even if you know the painting is just pure crap?
I mean, if it's crap, then it's crap. It's not worth your money.
I mean, this is. I feel like the whole artist being like famous thing connects to like stock, you know, stonks. No, not
Yeah.
stonks. I mean like brands. Brands like, if there's a name attached to it, you know, it'll be, but like there's already a price to that, you know, having
Yeah.
somebody's name on that. Like Elon Musk paints a painting, you know.
Oh yeah, that's Elon's painting. Okay, so let's buy that for like more than 100 or 10,000.
Yeah, but like, okay,
Wait.
like my whole point is just like, you know, like I don't want people to feel like they're being constrained by like the people around them, you know. Like if people around you think something is good, it doesn't mean that you have to think it's good.
True.
Because I feel like nowadays everyone is so like obsessed with like fitting in and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like even if it doesn't resonate with them, they just like want to like be they just
Like
yeah,
be a part of that group because they just wanna belong, you know.
yeah.
I
But
feel
eventually you'll belong somewhere, you know.
It just takes time, and we
It just
don't
takes
have
time.
patience for that.
Yeah, and you end up doing things you don't like, and you end up doing things that you like that will ruin like that won't
Your
develop your
potential.
personality, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that got deep real quick.
Late night.
Deep talks.
Late night talks.
Late night podcast.
Wait, what? 1 million tools.
1 million tools.
Extreme. Extreme.
Hack and slash title.
Hack and slash title.
What? What?
Don't worry
Okay,
about
guys,
it.
can we get back to talking about school? I really want to talk about school.
Okay, what do you
And how
want
hard-
to talk about?
And how hard they try, but they fail.
Oh, dude, if you say that, it reminds me of this one time where I was like so stressed out. I felt like every single thing I'm doing is
Yeah.
just gonna turn out to be a disappointment to my teachers. Oh my god, not a good time.
It's okay.
Probably my biggest fear about
Going to
Um,
school.
yeah.
About working with like teachers.
extended essays at least.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you just succumb to that fear, and you end up not doing anything.
Oh yeah, that happens
Pretty
a
much.
lot.
That's like me
I'm
right
so
now.
worried about. Yeah, I'm so worried about what I'm gonna put in it that it's like I'm not doing it because I'm scared.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mr. Diego's so pissed at me because I haven't done much yet.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Because like this whole process, like this whole like few weeks has really messed up my mind and my mindset. And I'm just scared. I'm just scared whatever I do at home will mess up.
Same.
I'll just tell you this
Like
right now.
it's not even just during this week. The moment I had my second interview with him, like Mr. Domo,
Yeah.
I felt like I already disappointed him, even if I didn't start my work yet. Like,
A lot of pressure.
You do have to realize one thing, like, even if you are scared of them, it's better to talk to them. They might be a bit pissed, but at the end of the day, they're gonna help you.
oh yeah. But like,
Yeah, I always end up talking to them way too late, and I always end up fucking myself over, like last
oh
year.
yes, that's what I was gonna point
Like
out.
that's why like, huh?
You go.
You know that's why I'm so scared about my EE, because this is supposed to be my redemption arc, and I'm just like super fucking scared.
Oh, the thing about me last year is that my supervisor didn't really do much. I mean that's not his fault because he's never really
Pure Marty.
like
Done it.
yeah he's never really done like he's never been a supervisor for like personal projects, so he doesn't really know what it's all about. So I think for me, I just had full freedom over whatever I did.
I
I feel
don't
like that
know
was one of the
how-
good things.
Mm.
That was my favorite part.
Honestly, I felt the same exact way. I feel like the personal project was my EE, you know, cause like the personal project, the supervisor would grind you just to speak to you and help you through the entire thing. But for me,
Not really.
for my EE,
No, that's false.
It's
yeah,
false.
for my
You know, for me, I only had 2 actual face-to-face meetings with him.
oh yeah, same. I had
Like-
2 face-to-face meeting with him. The
Yeah.
third one was supposed to be like our final one, but the first time I forgot to show up. The second time he didn't show up. The third time he was missing from school. He was absent that day. The fourth time I decided to just send him an email about it.
Wait, who's
Like-
your supervisor?
For the personal project, it was
Yeah.
Mr. Alirio.
Oh, me the
I mean,
big
similar
man.
situation with me, cause like my first meeting I went to and my last one. The second one that we were supposed to do, I just emailed him. That was it.
Oh.
I feel like the EE thing is now more of like a personal project supervisor kind of thing, more than
Yeah.
the personal project itself.
And you know, like
Cause- Because the supervisors for our EE is actually asking for us, like, oh, when are you gonna set up the meeting with me and shit like that.
To all the grade 10s listening to this, talk to your supervisor.
like basically like the whole personal project, like when I heard of it, like I was so lost, man. I was like, what the fuck should I do? Like
Yes,
and then
dude.
like, after I figured out what I was gonna do, I felt so uninspired. Because it felt like I forced myself to do it.
To all the future grade 10s listening to this,
Well, the grade 10s now. Actually, no, never
Your
mind.
personal project. So
Yeah, they
all
already
of the
finished.
grade 10s, speak to your supervisor. They'll help you a lot.
Unless you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like in the minority case.
I'm in the minority. too.
Basically,
I'm like,
okay,
no.
so I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid or dumb. But like I never heard about personal project before, right?
Mhm.
So when I came to NIST, they're like, oh yeah, you have to do personal project. I'm just like, what?
Dude, the first time I heard about the personal project was through Kevin, and the second
same.
time was
He
through
warned me about
Pen.
it.
Yeah, he
No one
warned
told me anything about it. Like I came and then that was the first time I knew about personal project, and I was like, what? What?
And I
And
sort of
then,
knew about it, but then like dude, like they make it sound so like dramatic. I would say dramatic. Like, oh, if you fail, you're gonna fail.
yeah, and like,
Dude, I feel like that's more of the EE than the personal project.
Yeah, that's more
Oh
the
my
EE.
god.
This one's actually true.
Cause like Dom got a low score.
yeah, he got the same score as me.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Okay, so basically, like, from where I come from, whatever you do, they're trying to numb your head, okay? So you listen to everything they say. So my creative mind just goes, and I'm just like,
Wait, what
oh,
was your product?
that's a shitty ass toy car.
Yeah, when you fried your board.
I fried my
it was
board.
working.
And
It
then-
was working. Oh. That's why I'm so sad. It's because it used to work, but then it just fried.
Dude, talking about the EE brings back trauma.
So unlucky. Yeah,
No, not the
talking
E,
back
the
to the
personal
E.
project.
You
I'm
haven't done the
sorry.
E yet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Grade 11 is hitting me hard.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I just did whatever I thought was cool, and I was like, "Oh, build a toy car," and it fucking didn't work out. And then I was like, you know, like halfway, like during like the winter, I tried building the car, right? And then I put it together, and then it didn't work. You know, I felt like the biggest low blow, and I just I felt so demotivated. I just stopped working on it.
Mm.
You have like a car to present. I had literal shit.
No,
I
you're
get if you
Like,
you
Concept.
animated it too high of
Yeah,
a frame rate.
yeah, I know. And
60
by
frames.
winter, I realized that. But then we had the Simon thing going on, so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go with what I have and screw it up all the way. That's why I had that book next to me. Compared to you though, Andy, I felt like a total failure.
But it was still pretty good.
Yeah, it was still pretty good. That was an impressive, like,
Yeah, it was better than
even though it
mine.
wasn't long, it was still pretty good.
It was good.
Oh, the one thing I liked about the personal project is the first roommate.
What?
Wait,
For
your
design.
choice of. Wait, what?
Oh.
what is it? The
Mountain.
process of the personal project.
Mountain. Mountain.
The
pen?
what?
Mountain
The process.
climbing. You know, climbing the mountain shoe.
Don't remember.
You don't remember climbing the mountain?
I don't
I
think
don't know.
I don't think you remember the video. I think you showed it to her.
Oh. No one should see
Green
that
screen
video.
video.
No one should ever see that video.
Yes.
Wait. Is it the one where Pan is next to the green screen and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
plan something and then you green screened it into like something
Wait,
Pretty
was it a
much.
skyscraper?
wait? Was it a chroma keying like problem or what?
No,
What
it was
happened?
iMovie, bro. It's iMovie. iMovie's a
Wait,
bad
you-
screen remover.
Wait, you couldn't adjust the like chroma key like parameters?
No. It's iMovie, bro. It's made to be really simple.
What the hell, Apple?
Yep.
I mean, they expect you to buy like Final Cut Pro or something.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, if you want to edit your videos like really good, you need to buy Final Cut Pro. That's like $100. Wait, was it 100 or 1,000?
I don't know. I'll check. Okay, Pro.
I mean,
Pricing.
you can use it for a long time, but you can only use it on that one computer, right?
Let's see, $300 and the license is for 6 years.
Oh, on any computer?
I am not sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, MacBooks aren't that powerful.
Unless you buy an iMac. $5,000 iMac.
Yeah, it's just
No,
not that powerful.
$50,000.
Yeah, $50,000 iMac. I don't think it's worth it.
Exactly, it's not. Buy
There
Windows
are more
machine.
things in life that are worth, like buying a house. $50,000 can probably buy you a house.
I mean, or you could go like the really technical route and build yourself like a Hackintosh.
You know, I don't even know what you can. I don't know what kind of computer you can build with $50,000. You can probably build a really good one and still have $40,000 to spare.
Pretty much, yeah. Like,
And that remaining for 40,000 can be your house.
Yeah, exactly.
$50,000 is a stretch. It's
Like that,
really
like the highest you can really go is like around 10,000 for Windows, right? And an extra
Well, it
100 for the
depends.
light.
Depends, because you got a lot of like exclusive like creator CPUs and like graphics cards that they charge like a lot of money for,
Yeah.
just because it's like it's not a commercial product, you know.
Oh,
You
you know
wanna
the
build it
ones
with those.
the ones they sell to Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, they're like so expensive, but it's not. It's barely as strong as like the strongest GPU.
Looking like Google servers.
Man, like tech companies taking advantage of people. Nothing new. Ha ha ha.
Nothing new yet. At least AMD is rising up.
Yeah.
Hey, get it? Rising up.
Ryzen. You know, I think AMD really got back when they started reducing their prices.
Yeah, and also they released the new mobile processor for like laptops,
Yeah.
and it costs less and performs better than Intel. So I don't know, man. Intel's gonna they're facing really like hard competition right now. I feel like eventually we might all switch over to AMD cards. They draw less power too. Better performance, better battery life, lower cost. That's perfect, yeah.
Yeah, but I still don't think AMD graphics card can beat like NVIDIA graphics.
NVIDIA, yeah, but like in terms of processors,
Yeah, I don't think Intel has to step up their game.
yeah, I feel like they're basing the newer models like behind the same architecture, and they're just like if you see how much the like i9, how hot it gets without proper heating, like
I don't got an i9, bro. I don't know what it feels like.
I watch benchmarks, okay. They're just taking more power, like they're taking more power just to like more processing, like more processingness, basically. Yeah, they never changed that. When you look at AMD, they have like they're innovating. Well, that word again. Remember when Steve Jobs first stepped on stage? I forgot what he said. I heard he say something about innovation.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you can call people, you can listen to music.
Look at
you
this,
can...
swiping on a phone. Look at that. You touch it and it reacts.
We will never use a pen. Apple Pen. What's up, baby? What's up,
Yeah,
baby?
you look at all these other phones and they have like their screens that you need a pen to touch. No. You can use your fingers. Wow.
Fingers.
Finger.
10 years later, introducing the new Apple Pen.
Oh.
Didn't they already introduce the Apple Pen?
Yeah, they did. Good job, guys.
Yes,
Good job,
they did.
Apple. You know, they could have made like using your fingers more intuitive, but pen.
No, you know, it's not like you can use your fingertips to draw. You gotta use a pen. Pen.
Yeah, right. You know, you want accuracy? Pen.
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 And then
What's happening?
Yes, yes, it's happening, man. We don't know what's happening. Who's happening? You happening? Me happening?
Happening. Haha.
Man. I want to go back to school.
Wait, yeah. God, staying at home really sucks.
It sucks. I miss going to Blends and buying like banana bread.
Oh, I just buy coffee in the morning, which is great.
No, like during free blocks, I would go buy banana bread.
Bro,
Try the-
I'm saying I miss Pueblo Vista.
I miss everyone and everything. You know, it's like I miss my girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah, I miss my girlfriend. Jesus.
Exactly. It's like we don't even like we don't get to see each other like in person, and it's terrible.
Bad. Quarantine's not helping because we're not allowed to leave the house.
We are not allowed to leave the house. Wow.
Yeah.
God, I hate it.
Uh,
I hate it.
Oh yeah, random topic I've come up with,
Yes, sir.
which probably only, actually yeah, probably Shu doesn't know much about crap. Yeah, whatever.
Fire away.
Okay. Valorant's anti-cheat.
Oh my God. I think that's a bit too
I think
extreme,
I'm
man.
not here and that I'm sleeping because that's what I'm going to be doing.
That's a bit extreme,
Just
man.
gonna fall asleep.
That's
Okay,
a bit.
Valorant's anti-cheat. I don't understand it, and I will never understand it.
But I know it's extreme.
It is extreme.
Yes.
The thing about it is that they say like, oh, we need to, you know, like they're just monitoring everything you're doing on your PC, which we don't want.
Yeah.
And you know, if you think about it, like you look at Fortnite, you look at that game, and it's like their anti-cheat runs when you run the like executable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you run the launcher, like the Epic Games launcher. You run the game, but it runs like the anti-cheat first before it starts the game.
Or like Apex.
Why doesn't Riot do that? You know, why do they have to have it like a mandatory like anti-cheat? You always have to have on in order to play the game. Technically, you could disable it, but you have to go in and out. Like, you know, I don't want this. Oh, now I'm playing. Now I want this.
Here's a conspiracy I have.
Mhm.
You know how Riot Games is owned by Tencent,
Mhm. Yeah.
and Tencent is a Chinese company.
Yeah. That's the biggest concern people have.
And you know how the Chinese government like to stick their hand in people's pockets,
Mhm.
and I think they're using it as an excuse to stick their hand into people's pockets.
Sounds about right. I mean, censorship in China is always going to be a thing, but I don't know. Cause wait, aren't they banning online gaming from like outside of China as well?
Pretty much. You can't talk to anyone inside. You can talk to anyone outside. Okay, you can.
No, you
Okay.
can talk to people inside, but outside communication is like gone. Think of the esports like scene. That
Goodbye.
is bad, right? Cause like,
Imagine a world. Imagine you play Worlds from home, right? And then you can't play against the Chinese server because they're not allowed to play outside of their server.
Sounds
that'd be
about right.
pretty funny.
You know, another thing about like esports like right now is that holding majors and stuff is a better idea to cancel them, especially for first-person shooters,
Yeah.
because they're just gonna use cheats at home.
Yeah.
They're just gonna cheat,
You're right.
and you never know. Like they might not be even like, they might not be the one even playing. You know.
Yeah.
God, the whole situation right now is just messed up. I want everything to go back to normal.
I just want to meet my friends and my girlfriend and school and everything that comes with school.
Social life.
I mean, I'm fine with the work.
but
I'm fine with the work. You know, the work's okay. Like I get my balance, you know, but when I'm at home, I don't get any balance.
the same thing over and over again.
There's no social life. I mean, we talk over Discord, but it's not the same, you know.
It's not the same.
You know, I have a dream that one day we can have a podcast where we sit around a table and talk into a microphone.
That sounds so good.
That's my dream.
Like imagine we just sit there after school and we just sit around a table.
And we have a
Yeah,
podcast.
there is the recording
Yeah, right?
studio in the.
No, I don't want to use the recording studio in the makerspace.
That's too small.
We're limited to the time. We're limited to our time in the makerspace, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we could just have a room. I feel like I mean we
We'll
can all
probably do it in
help
my
like
apartment.
we could borrow like a good microphone or something.
Yeah. Or maybe I can save up money.
Oh, I could chip in.
That'd be pretty dope. And like, I wonder where to buy like the sound foam.
Sound foam?
Yeah. The sound absorbing foam, where it stops echoing, stops your room from echoing.
I think that's a bit extreme, like this pad for noise suppression.
Yeah, I have an knack for that, bro. I hate it every time I listen to my recordings and I hear that.
Yeah. Cause like, I mean, I look at all these YouTubers
Yeah.
with like their entire room is just like filled with like that black material.
I
everywhere.
know. And you can't really remove it either.
Exactly. That room's just gonna be your recording room from now on.
I know. But I think maybe I can just buy cheap furniture and put it everywhere in my room.
Sounds about right, yeah.
That's mad.
Lower echo.
Cheap furniture.
Echo.
Oh, buy sharp objects. You know, cause look at if you look at the shape of the sound foam, right? It's spiky, right? So it's supposed to like break up like the sound waves. So we can
You
just
could
like.
use it as a murder weapon.
No, it's too soft. It's too soft, man. I don't know about that, chief.
Murderer guy was
You
able
said
to
sharp,
murder
sharp,
someone with
not
a
sharp,
spoon.
sharp.
Yeah, it's sharp doesn't mean it has to hurt. It's just the shape is sharp. Sharp shape, sharp. I feel like we're approaching that time of the podcast where we're just like spitting out nonsense.
Yeah, I feel like we're all just.
We're
not
all
doing
just
okay.
too tired.
Nonsensical.
I am just too tired. Nonsensical part 2.
I mean, the first podcast we have, that was pretty much that. Like
we
the
didn't have
entire way
school.
through.
Hey, we didn't have school, fam. We didn't have school. Oh man, I'm tired.
Yeah, I know. That's why we can stay up to 2. Fine, you know.
Yeah. But then we were still tired. I mean, I'm still tired now.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
a different
But we
kind
had
of
school
tired.
today, so it's worse.
I don't know. It feels kind of exhausting.
I feel like
Okay.
I'm gonna pass out anytime soon.
Yeah.
Let's all pass out.
Like you know like my brain is like it's so not in like the you know in the state, you know, like if like okay, so we have school and then
Contemplative state.
yeah, no, it's not even that. Like okay, we like usually we have school on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, right? And then on our consultation days, I just don't feel like it's school, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's just home.
It's just home. So I feel like oh it's just gonna be like a weekend or something. But then it's not. You have work to do. You have a lot of work to do.
We have work to do and we have meetings to attend.
And it's really punching me in the nuts.
The nuts.
The nuts, and it's I don't like it, man. I don't like it. But I mean to be fair, it's given me more opportunities to do things, but it's also given me less opportunities to do the things I enjoy.
Same.
Hmm.
It's giving me more opportunities to do stuff, but the stuff I want to do, I don't have the creativity to do it. I
Yeah.
cannot
Pretty much.
think.
I feel like that's with me too. It's like when it comes to spending time on what you want to do, it's like, yeah, you know, it's good and all, but you don't get ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not in my
You just feel so uninspired.
Yeah.
I think that's like the price you have to pay for like, you know, time. No, but then
I
I
don't
feel
know
like
how my friend does this. Like, he has
maybe with different
online
types of
school.
people, you know.
Yeah, he has online school. He's been having online school for the past 2 years now. I don't know how he does this.
I don't know. It's like I don't know. You know, like when Miss Heidi asked us if we liked this 3-day thingy, I thought you guys actually, I thought you guys were like serious about it. When you said it was actually okay.
What I actually meant. It's
I feel like
not
it's okay at the time, and then it gets worse. You know, I'm just saying.
But she just asked us this afternoon.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
at the time, like, oh, you know, we're done with like school. It's the weekend. You know, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But while you're going through it, and right now reflecting on it, it's bad.
It's bad.
Like, it's pretty bad. And it's like, you know, it's harder to tell teachers what you really mean.
Yeah, because you don't. I don't know. We just don't feel like comfortable around them enough, and like I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. Talking to teachers.
It feels left.
Feels left. Feels in the middle. Feels up. It feels down, but it just does not feel right.
Why only not right? It's so sad.
I know. Every other direction, but not right. I hate it. I hate it.
Discrimination.
I wonder how many people out there actually like want to go back to school.
Survey time.
up to
Every
you.
time.
Should
I
we?
think most people would just say yes.
At this point, yes.
Okay,
But
okay,
then
okay.
the moment school starts, we'll
You know what?
see.
We'll put that in the actual form we're gonna send out. It's just
Yeah.
a quick statistic check.
Do we have to tell Mr. James that we're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Doing just in case.
Okay. Hey
Wow.
guys, have you seen Demon Slayer?
Yes,
Not
I
yet.
finished
I'm
it.
on episode 2.
I haven't started. I'm busy trying to finish Avatar and Fruit Basket.
Okay.
But it gets better like after first like episode, I'm sure of it, right?
I'm
Because
sure.
first episode, it was like
That's questionable.
no, I mean like it's good.
Was
It's
it
good,
the
but I wouldn't
first-
say it's like the
Was
best.
the first episode the part where the sister gets demonized?
Yes.
That's not a word, but I know, but like, let's go along with that.
Take it from our satisfied customer. Hey. Hello. Are you there? Are you there?
No.
Hello.
Oh, that's why my computer was running so
Madam.
slowly.
Okay, guys, wait. Pause.
Hello.
Yes. So our satisfied customer, Batay. How do you like Demon Slayer?
It's interesting.
Could you elaborate?
That's a
on
positive
it?
review.
That's a positive review. That's a 10 out of 10. My anime list rating. That's a 10. Greatest anime on earth.
Top 10 anime.
Wait, she watches anime?
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah,
Top 10 anime fight scene.
she watches anime.
Like, how
Number
Khan's
5.
reaction to that was just
I'm
She watch-
genuinely surprised.
She watch anime with me. We
Aw.
watch it together.
Oh.
Oh ho.
Really think
yeah, we're still
about
holding
this
a-
had
we're
to
still
watch
not-
anime.
Anime. We still need to hold a movie night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow 10.
Like okay, I'm down.
Yeah. Okay, so we made a deal, right? If she watches shit with me, I'll watch it with her.
Okay, that's a lot less cute.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's still cute.
I know it's still cute, but it sounds like it's.
It's not like I'm forcing her to watch Demon Slayer with
Yeah,
me.
I know.
I'll just cut it out.
Do it voluntarily.
Yeah, it's voluntary, you know.
I know that sounded so aggressive.
It's like,
That's
oh,
just
you
not
don't watch this with me, I'm gonna kill you.
I
That's
won't love.
exactly what it sounded like.
I won't love you anymore. I won't love you anymore.
You know, watch Demon Slayer with me. I'm breaking up.
Yo, how dare you?
Demon Slayer is the best anime.
I know, right? If you don't watch Kayou with me, I will go berserk. Like guts. Berserk.
I am waiting.
Good
I
fun.
am waiting for Haikyuu season 4 part 2, just because of that one match.
I'm waiting.
Why?
I'm waiting for Attack on Titan.
Put a teaser.
Attack on Titan season 4.
On Titan final season. Attack on Titan.
Final season.
So,
Where everything
are you
completely
excited
takes.
for fighting?
I finished. I caught up
Wait,
to
what?
the anime.
Yeah. I mean, the final battle for Haikyuu is pretty interesting. Oh, you know they get eliminated, right? They get eliminated.
Yeah, obviously. It's
Yeah.
that basic structure. to
Basically,
any
they get
sports
eliminated.
anime.
They get eliminated. They come back next year. They win.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's how it always is.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but then this time they won't have their seniors.
They don't. Yeah, true. I wonder how they're gonna replace Daichi.
New team members?
Kageyama's gonna be. Sorry. I just can't. Kageyama, a leader. Hey, at least
Yo,
it's better.
imagine. Imagine if Haikyuu takes a 180 and starts giving him superpowers.
Oh, like in Kuroko no Basket, right?
Exactly.
You have people dunking from the free throw line, and you have people dunking from like the what half court.
Half court. You got people.
How do you
And you got,
do a dunk in a half court?
You jump all the way from the half court.
You jump.
You jump really far.
You jump really hard.
And you look at Midorima, and he's just like shooting from like the other side of the court, like, oh, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, he can shoot from his
Oh
house.
my-
He can shoot from the
He
moon.
can shoot from his house.
Yeah, like
Oh my god. Why? Why?
You know what? It's over the top, but whatever. It's entertaining.
anyways, hey guys, let's talk about relationships.
Sorry, cannot.
Lego.
Let's not talk about relationships.
Okay, let's not.
Alright, let's talk about it after the podcast, because that's a bit personal, and that's not for the podcast. Yeah, I know you wanted to listen to this, you snoopy, sneaky little people listening to my podcast. Not today. Okay, I think this podcast is coming to a wrap. Yeah, I think we're out of things to talk about this week, right, guys?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
out of
pretty
things.
much.
I'm out of thoughts to talk about.
I feel like we're all
No.
tired. We can't think of anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I came into this podcast thinking we can discuss something meta, like robot invasion.
What?
Robot invasion? Okay, we'll save that for another time.
Well, yeah, we'll save that for another time. You can come
That
back.
would actually
on the
take
show.
a while, honestly. If you think about. I mean, Elon's talk about it too, you know.
Oh, that would take that would at least take like half an episode, or even like, yeah.
Yeah, that'll take a while. We'll save it.
We'll save it for
Why?
our spectacular episode. Who knows when? But only soon.
Spectacular.
Soon. Okay. It's gonna be before next school year. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can't
Okay.
be that many weeks from now.
All right. Look out for that, guys.
The
Machines.
18th week of this
Y'all
year.
interested
Rise-
in robot invasions and AI?
Rise of the planet of AIs. It's not apes anymore. It's AIs. 2020, baby.
Genius right there.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You know, I appreciate you listening this far. I'm not sure, like the few 5 people that actually listens to this podcast. Thank you very
Hey, you know,
much.
we're gonna be expanding out to more people within school.
Within a few days, a few weeks, I don't know, but thank you for tuning in. This is your host, jam, cash,
Jam,
gun,
jam.
gun,
Gun, gun.
gun.
For a side special, Joker
Gun.
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 Alright, okay. Thanks for
Let's animate that.
thanks for tuning in, awesome people of this world. Hang in there. Everything will be safe and done soon. And Daijobu. You know, stay safe, wash your hands, and y'all got anything to say?
Peace
This
out.
is
Bye.
this is your boy signing out.
Alright, stay safe, wash your hands.
Wash your hands. That's really important.
Yes, and wash your face. I don't know, wash whatever you want.
For 20 seconds.
Wash everything.
Yeah, wash everything.
For at least 20 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds. Alright, take care.